Right, demand gen campaigns, they are the new shiny type of campaigns that Google has introduced that have now replaced almost all video action campaigns. In this video, I'm going to go over exactly what demand gen campaigns are, how to set them up step by step. We'll go sit on my computer, show you, and then I'm also going to be giving you all of the best tips and tricks when it comes to running demand gen campaigns, because there's definitely a right way we've realized of running demand gen campaigns and a way that wastes all of your money. So definitely going to be giving you all of the information. For those of you guys that don't know me, my name is Neil and I run one of the biggest YouTube ad agencies out there. And if you're somebody that's looking to get help with YouTube ads, either you want to learn them yourselves or you want us to take care of your YouTube ads, what I recommend is you go check the top link in the description down below. So with that said, let's dive into what exactly demand gen campaigns are and why Google has kind of introduced them and now started the push for them. Demand gen campaigns are essentially an all-in-one solution for advertisers. Google has gone out and taken all of the different placements that it had and put them under one umbrella. So things like YouTube Shorts ads, in-feed ads, in-stream ads, and kind of combine them and put them under the umbrella of demand gen campaigns. This change does bring a lot of benefits to you, the advertiser. The first one being unparalleled reach across Google's different ad platforms and placements. Google really believes it's that this change in increasing the reach as well as the advancements in their targeting algorithms and how good those have gotten, it will really contribute to you getting better and more targeted top of funnel traffic for your offers. And that's really where we see some of the best results when it comes to demand gen campaigns when we're running them for our clients at our agency. You're going to see the best results with the broad top of funnel ads with this campaign type. So like I mentioned, these new demand gen campaigns have a lot of different placements, including static placements. So things like a lot of in-feed ad placements, as well as things like Gmail placements. So what this means for you, the advertiser, is that you can't really approach demand gen campaigns how you did with video action campaigns. It's kind of almost a blend between video action campaigns as well as PPC ads, where you do have to put some consideration into the static text aspect of this campaign type and the images. So you're going to be following best practices of PPC, basically writing really catchy headlines that are really clickable, as well as following some of the best practices for organic YouTube videos for those in-feed placements. So having really catchy and clickable titles and thumbnails, those are going to be really important with demand gen campaigns. So not only do you have a ton of options when it comes to static image placements, you also have a multitude of video placements inside of demand gen campaigns. Not only can you upload multiple videos inside the campaign, you can also choose what sort of placements you want. That's going to be things like having in-feed ads, like we just mentioned with the static stuff, as well as the skippable and unskippable in-stream ads, as well as YouTube short video ads. So a lot of different options there. And what I recommend is that you do the best practices for all of these separate placements and apply them to demand gen campaigns. So for example, if you're uploading a YouTube Shorts placement type of ad, then make sure the ad is filmed vertically and less than 60 seconds long. What I will mention is that you do not rely on the Google AI to convert some of your assets for specific placements. So taking a long form skippable in-stream video and having the Google AI kind of convert it for YouTube Shorts, we've just found that doesn't work really well. Kind of the creative doesn't look as great as a dedicated Shorts video. So that's something to keep in mind. I will say, if you are a little bit overwhelmed with this, don't worry. You do have the ability to run demand gen campaigns on specific networks and specific placements. So like if you want to run YouTube Shorts only demand gen campaigns, you can do that. If you only want to run on display network, you can do that. But in general, what I've found works really well with demand gen is using these various networks and placement types and really letting the Google algorithms optimize them on their own. With that said, let me jump into my computer and show you exactly how to set up a brand new demand gen campaign. So it's going to be very similar to some of the other campaigns, and you may have accidentally been setting up demand gen campaigns without even noticing it. However, if you were running things like YouTube ads before and you were setting up stuff like sales, and we can just do this, and you choose video, even though you're thinking you're creating video campaigns, it'll automatically upgrade them to demand gen campaigns. So let's go back, reset them up as a dedicated demand gen campaign. So you can choose either sales leads, whatever conversion, and then just go through demand gen like you would, and we'll create a new demand gen campaign. And again, name them with proper nomenclature. So LD, Links Digital, we'll say this is a demand gen campaign. Top of funnel, TOF. We can say all internet users, and we can do all placements, all demos. So I'm going to come down here, very similar to how you've set up campaigns in the past, which is like you can either optimize for conversions, clicks, YouTube engagements, though I found that for demand gen campaigns, this doesn't seem to convert very well. So if you do have Google history, I would say stick with conversions. Google history meaning you've run ads before, your Google conversions are set up, and you have conversions recorded. You do also have the option of setting a target CPA, your target cost per option. I highly recommend that you do this, in fact. Otherwise, sometimes we've seen spend attributed to different placements and networks that really don't tend to convert. So I really like doing this. I think this is should be best practice. Then we can do budget, very similar. Now you have this new thing, which is called brand guidelines. Again, if you have a brand guideline, go ahead, upload your main color, your accent color, and your font. We're going to say no to the EU political ads. Language, you can enable this. You can add languages. So let's do English. All devices, you can, again, further select. So we still only stick with computer, mobile phones. Ads schedule, this is fine, this is fine. And you can see I'm doing this on a campaign level as opposed to doing it on an ad group level. I just find with demand gen specifically, because you're going to be mixing a bunch of different audiences and different audiences that you'll test in the ad group level, it makes sense to do a lot of these changes inside the campaign level. Okay, let's go inside the ad group level, and now you can see that we have the choice of using all of Google's channels, or the different networks they used to call it, or you can choose. So if you don't want to do Google Display Network, if you don't want Gmail ads, if you only want discovery ads, if you want in-feed ads, if you only want YouTube Shorts and in-stream ads, those are all the things that you have available to you. You can get rid of optimized targeting. Let's say we want to target all of our subscribers. So this would be actually a remarketing campaign. And then ad group options, we're going to leave this alone. And then because we're using campaign bid level, I want every single ad group to be the same. Now let's talk about the actual ad creation portion of this. So it's very similar if you've ran YouTube ads before, or Google ads in that case. You can upload your video ID, you can upload single images, and these are going to be prevalent for like things like Gmail and in-feed ads. So let's just go through an example and show you. And I'm telling you, it is very similar to running a regular YouTube ad. So let's go linksdigital.com actually. Okay, you can see that I uploaded a rather long YouTube video. It's our full course. Again, quick little plug if you haven't checked that out, our full free YouTube ads course that's almost 2 hours long. And because it's 2 hours long, it's saying that it won't be able to run on the YouTube Shorts platform, or it will loop. So it gives you the option of editing this video. However, what I like to do is choose where the videos are shown, and I prefer this. So let's say I'll just do this as an in-feed and in-stream ad, and that's how I would differentiate it. And then so if I wanted to run a YouTube Shorts ad, I would just duplicate this ad, because we have the ability to add up to 5 videos, right? So I would duplicate the ad and go to add 2, and over here, instead of using that 2 hour long video, I would have a much shorter video that's compliant with the YouTube Shorts placement. And then awesome, we've gone ahead and gone to review, and that is basically how we set up demand gen campaigns. If you like this video, I definitely recommend checking out our entire course on how to run ads on Google. With that, please like the video if you found it helpful, and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next one.